My favorite days. Friday the 13th are always fun days for me. Okay, so one block here. You're going to take that block and put it between your feet. Now, I'm orienting mine this way, and it just really is a matter of what feels the most comfortable to you. Right? So just finding that, and then finding your feet underneath, toes pointed forward, right? Lifting tall through the spine, letting your shoulders relax, letting the tailbone drop. So we're just going to start by bending. I can't really bend very much, but bending your knees a little bit and straightening the legs. So just here, what we want to do is kind of look and see that our knees are going where they're supposed to go, right? They're lining up over the second toe or so, like that. Just a little bend. Block as a guide for that. All right. And then we're going to lift our heels and bring the block with you. So kind of gently squeeze it with your heels, lift up onto your toes, and lower back down, which I'm not able to do either. So inhale as we lift and exhale, lower. Good. Just a couple more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Good. Inhale, lift. And lower down. Good. With your heels down, you're just going to roll down until you come to your block and grab it and roll back up. Stack the spine, letting your knees be bent. And just bring that block back up with you. We're going to press into it in front of our chest. So as you inhale, you're just going to feel nice and tall. As you exhale, gently press into the block and lengthen a little more. Good. And now we're going to add a twist. Okay, so inhale. And as you exhale, lengthen, gently press into the block and add a little twist to that. So just rotate to one side and back. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale, lengthen tall, gently pressing into your block and rotating the other way. Keeping that block right in front of your heart. So the block position doesn't change. Two more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gently press and rotate. Back to center one more time. We're using blocks today. Inhale, tall, gently press and exhale, rotate. And back to center. Now bring the block behind you. I'll turn side so you can see. And you're just going to press it, use it to sort of hold on to. Well, unless you can clasp your hands behind your back, I can't. Pull your shoulder blades back a little bit. Okay, the shoulders back. And you're just going to lift the chest as you press into your body with your block and sort of go into a little bit of a back bend, right? So feeling your shoulders pull back, lift the chest, and then bring yourself back to neutral. Just a couple more times. So we press into the block, press the block into us as we lift up and arch just a little bit back, and then come back to neutral. So opening the chest, okay, one more time, and feeling our spine extending upward and slightly back. Good. And release. Great. And then bring your block back in front of you. And we're going to take it up over our head as we draw our shoulder blades down, fill our rib cage in line with our pelvis, looking forward. Inhale, tall, exhale over to one side, taking a little side bend and lifting back up. Good. Inhale, tall, exhale over to the other side. Kind of tuck that tailbone so you feel stable. Good. And back. Two more. Inhale, lift, exhale over. And back up. Inhale, lift, exhale, over. And back to the top. Good. And then go ahead and lower your block down and come to the end of your mat or wherever it is that you want to be. Holding onto the block, and we'll just inhale. And then as we exhale, roll down, letting your arms feel like your block is a cement block pulling you down. Right, and just place it on the mat and hang here. So you can have your hands on the block if you want. You can bend and straighten the knees, relax the head, neck. And then go ahead and place your block to the side of your mat and walk your hands out into pike, down dog, letting the knees be a little bent, lifting the tailbone. And just walking our heels, stretching them down as we let our body move around a bit here. Do a little side to side, a little forward and back. Breathe. Getting a stretch in the back body, back of our legs, especially. A little stretch in the shoulders. And then walking the hands a little farther out, making a little more space between the hands and the feet to a high plank or a regular plank, and taking a couple breaths here. Starting to wake up. And then you can either lower yourself slowly down or bring your knees to the mat to come onto the mat and come around to sitting. So I think everybody knows we're using a block. People have been coming in late. We kind of started late too. So bring your block in between your legs, knees, thighs area there, just line it up there. And the knees in a half bend so that you can sit tall. I like to have my feet flexed. That's partially because my one foot only flexes. Okay, so we're going to inhale as we reach our arms forward, lifting tall. Exhale, roll back, gently squeezing the block and just rounding back to your sacrum, letting your shoulders be relaxed. Inhale. And then you're going to squeeze the block as you exhale up. And when you come up, lift the arms. And feel yourself lengthening through your fingertips, lengthening through the spine, and then arms forward as you exhale back. Shoulders relax. Inhale, exhale, squeeze to come up, and then lifting our arms, lengthening to the sky as we lift on the inhale, and then arms forward as we exhale, rounding back. A couple more times. Just back about halfway. Inhale, exhale, pull yourself up, lift the arms, lift tall. Good. And then inhale, exhale back. One more. Good. Squeeze to help you come up. And then lift tall. Nice full breath. And reaching forward. We're going to exhale back onto our back all the way. Control. Bring your feet in close to your hips here. Adjust the block if you need to. So taking our arms over our head, lay them on the floor. I need to adjust myself. I'm a little cramped in my space here. Okay, lay your arms on the floor and just relax them. Inhaling here. Now, as we exhale, we're going to take our arms and press them down as we press our hips up. Right? It's a little different than we normally do. Good. And then as we're going to inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to articulate our spine and then bring our arms back over our head as we articulate the spine down. Okay. So inhale here, exhale, press the hips up, press the arms down, Inhale, exhale, articulate down as your arms go back. Good. Inhale, exhale, press up as the arms press down to the floor. Good. Inhale, exhale, articulate as the arms go back. A little bit of a coordination, right? One more. Inhale, exhale, press up as the arms press down. Nice deep breath. Exhale as you articulate down, arms go over the head. Great. And then we'll bring our arms to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Press your low back into the mat. Lift your legs into tabletop. We're just going to relax our shoulders, press our spine into the mat, unbend your legs and stretch them out, and then bend them back in. So if you want, you can exhale as you extend the legs. Inhale, bend, which is what I like to do, but find your own breathing. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Now we're going to add to that. So as we extend, we're going to reach our left arm back, right? Inhale that arm and the knees back, pressing your back into the mat. Exhale, extend the legs as your right arm reaches back. Don't reach back very far. We want our rib cage, shoulder blades, everything on the mat. Inhale back. So alternating, reaching that left arm as you extend the legs. Inhale back, pressing your back into the mat. Extend the legs, right arm reaches. Inhale back. Good. Two more. Reach. Now holding your right arm still as the left arm reaches back. Inhale back. Holding the left arm still as the right arm reaches. And back up to the top. And then take a little break here. Just hug your knees for a moment. We like to take a little rest, yeah? Okay, and then we're going to extend our legs to the ceiling, bring our hands behind our head, clasp our hands, and then press the shoulders a little bit up off the mat. You're going to lower the legs about 45 degrees. Gently squeeze maybe as you exhale back to the top. Your knees might be a little bent. That's okay, right? The main thing is you want to keep your back pressing into the mat as you lower. Exhale, lift. Okay. So inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. And then we're going to add a little piece to that. So you're going to lower the legs down, bend the knees, bring them towards you, stretch back out, and lift. Just that, okay? So lower down to that angle, bend the knees, kind of pull them towards you, reach those legs back out, and lift up. Okay, and lower down, and bend, and stretch out, and lift. Support your head. One more. Lower down, bend the knees in, stretch it back out, and lift to the top. Let your head and shoulders relax. Let your knees bend. Take your block out from your legs there. And in the wide orientation, just put it on top of your knees and rock your body a little bit. Relax. Breathe. And then we're going to press into our block into our legs as we exhale, right? So inhaling here. As we exhale, we press the block into the legs and the legs into the block, and then relax. So we feel as we exhale, we feel our tailbone lifting off the mat a little bit. Our legs are relaxed. It's mostly about the arms, right? Press and release. Good. Getting a stretch in the tailbone. Good. One more. All right. And then when you relax in this one, put your block back between your legs where it was, legs into tabletop, arms out from our shoulders. And we're going to slowly take our legs over to the left, anchoring our right shoulder and gently squeezing to exhale back to the top, and then over to the right, anchoring our left shoulder, gently squeeze and bring it back to the top on the exhale. Inhaling over, gently squeeze and back. Inhale over, gently squeeze. Now, if you want to straighten your legs at the top, you can. Adds a little more weight to it, right? Keeping the shoulders anchored. Inhale to the side and exhale back. Inhale over, feeling our hips. One hip lifts off the mat, shoulder stays anchored. Now, when you're even on both sides, you're at the top, bend your knees, bring your hands behind your head again, clasp our hands. We're going to inhale. As we exhale, pressing our head and shoulders up a little bit. We're going to take our legs away from us on our inhale and bring them back on our exhale. So they don't have to touch, your feet don't have to touch the mat, just moving the legs out and in, right? Inhale away and gently squeeze to bring it back up, supporting our head, relaxing our neck. Good. And then after this one, your legs come back to the top. Now we're going to lower our head and shoulders as we inhale, and then squeeze and press up on our exhale, and lower the head and shoulders. Exhale, press up, gently squeeze. Good, starting to wake up here. And then we'll stay up on this one. And now we're going to take our legs away and lower our head towards the mat on our inhale. Don't go too far. And then exhale everything back to the top. So we're opening our body however far you're comfortable, able to do it. Don't go too far. Exhale back to the top. Right? Inhale away and exhale up because it's hard. Inhale away. Try not to tense the neck. Exhale up. One more. Inhale away and exhale. This one you can relax down and take your block out, hug your knees. Like I said, it's Friday. Okay. And then we're going to just put our feet on the mat and hold our block in front of our face and let your knees sway over to one side. Relax for just a breath. And then lift them up and then sway them to the other side and relax the legs. Breathe. And then back to the top. Stretch your legs out. Stretch your arms over your head. Flexing our feet. We're just going to do a little side to side reach. You can just hang on to your block and just reach through one side and then the other, stretching the side body and feeling our hips and our shoulders gliding up and down. Good for the hips and the shoulders. Great. And then relax everything. Lift your block up, and we're going to roll up, if you can, by pressing your arms into the block to help you. So if you can, just reach your block through your feet, press into the block to roll up on your exhale. Or you can come up another way. All right, put the block between your legs again, like that. Between the thighs, the knees. And we're going to sit tall. Again, your legs are as bent as they are so that you can sit tall. And arms are going to be in front of us with our palms facing down. Right? So we're going to lengthen our spine tall and just lift your left arm up to the ceiling. So you're feeling it pulling you even taller, and then bring it back in front of you. And then lengthen as you lift your right leg up. Your right arm up to the ceiling. And bring it back. And again, left arm reaches, lifting tall. And bring it back. Right arm reaches, lifting tall. Lengthening and bring it back. And now the left arm's going to lift up and we're going to follow it back and circle it behind us. And just circle it all the way back around. And then the right arm lifts and we follow that arm back. Circle it around. Again, left arm lifts. Circle it around. And back. Right arm lifts. Circle it following back and all the way around. Great. And then you can relax your arms and take your block. This is very different than we've done before, but put your block between your forearms. So you've got it like this, right? Get a grip on it. Your elbows and your forearm. Come onto your back, knees bent, and hold your arms thusly in front of your chest or in front of your face, and keeping your rib cage kind of pressing into the mat. Take your hands over your head to tap the mat, your fingers, and bring it back up. So taking our arms overhead, see if that feels doable to touch the mat, and then bring the arms back up, and then back, touch the mat, bring the arms up, back, touch the mat, bring the arms up, and keep your arms here. We're going to take our right leg up to the ceiling. So your left leg can stay bent, or if you want, you can, and it's doable, you can straighten it. We're going to circle the right leg. So you're going to go across, down, around, and back to the top. So gently squeezing your block, holding it steady, right? As we exhale, that circle around. Not a very big circle probably, but again, it will vary person to person. So after you've done about 4 circles, you're going to stop and reverse your circles. So using that exhale to and then when you've done that many on that direction, in that direction, bring your foot onto the mat. Both knees bent. Extend your left leg to the ceiling, and your right leg can be bent or straight, up to you. And we'll circle as we exhale, across, down, around, and up. Really making sure that we're holding our arms steady as possible, however big that circle is, and then reversing at the top. We're doing like 4 or 5 each direction. Your knee can be bent, or the other knee. And when you finished the same number of circles, go ahead and bring your foot on the mat, both feet on the mat. Take your block in your hands. Take it over your head. Stretch your body out. A nice deep breath, lifting your arms, your block, pressing. Again, we're going to roll up. Now, we've been doing rolls long enough that hopefully that's doable. And then we're going to bend the knees a little bit, or you can keep it straight, up to you. Hold the block like this in front of you, because we're going to do around the world. So you're going to steer the block to the left, say it's on just to the left of your left leg, and you're going to roll back. Okay, so it's called around the world. So it's just barely to the side of your leg. You're going to take it up and over, and then bring your left arm on top, your steer to the right, and you're going to press into the block to exhale back up. And you can let your knees bend and straighten or whatever feels comfortable back to center. And then steer to the right. So just a little tilt, roll down on that side. Your legs can also be together if you want. Bring it around, steering to the left, pressing into the block, rolling up, right, and center. So let's do a couple more. Steer to the left, inhale, exhaling back, however far you want to go. You don't have to go all the way. Right, taking it over, steer to the right. Exhale, pressing into the block to roll up and back. And steer to the right. So we're kind of going on the right side of the spine as we go down. And then we switch to come up on the left side of the spine as we come up, right? Great. And then when you come back to center, you can relax your arms. And we're going to stretch our legs in front of us. Put your block to the side for a moment. Just lift the sits bones. Bring the pelvis forward. Stretch over the legs. Take a moment. You might even, if you're flexible, you might even bring your block and use it to stretch underneath your feet. And then widening the legs into a straddle to whatever amount you're comfortable. Hands in between the legs, and we'll just inhale and exhale. Slide the hands out. Inhale, exhale, stack the spine back up. Right, just do that a couple more times. Sliding the hands out as far as they'll go. And stacking the spine. Come back in. Nice full breath. Slide it out. As we exhale, we stack back up to the top. Ah, that was a nice stretch break. Okay, now we're going to put the block under our heels. And hands are going to go behind our hips, pointing the fingers wherever they need to point, right? Great. And we're just going to inhale here as we exhale. We're going to lift the back side off the mat, right? And we're going to inhale, lower it down. Great. And exhale, press up. So this is a reverse plank, right? Inhale, lower down. If this doesn't work for you, you can do a different version, the table that we do often, or kind of nice to do something a little different. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press up. Inhale, one more time. I know the wrists, right? Exhale. I'm so spoiled. I have carpet. Press up. Good. And lower down, but we really do need to do weight bearing on our wrists. It's important. Okay, so you can kind of shake it out and circle them, open and close them, all that good stuff. Yeah, because the wrists need the weight bearing. It's really good for them, even though you don't want it. It's not fun. All right. So let's come on to our side. We're going to move our mat forward a little bit. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to put our block like tall at the end of your mat. There. We're going to put our top leg on top of it, and our bottom leg is bent in a 90-degree angle. You just kind of have to find, my block needs to go a little farther down. Find your leg, find your body lined up with your top foot on the block and your bottom leg bent, and lie on your arm. Once you get that position, right, you're pretty straight, pretty much a straight line. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to lift our leg, our top leg up, and we're going to rotate to bring our heel down in front. So externally rotating the leg. We're going to lift it up over the block. We're going to internally rotate to bring our toe down and back, right? So this is half moon that we usually do. And then rotate at the hip joint, that leg where the leg meets the hip, rotate it, heel down, and the back, toe down. So we feel that rotation happening at the top of our leg, and breathe. And our job is to make sure we don't knock the block over, right? We're going around that block. And breathe. Feeling your leg rotating as it comes to the top. It starts to rotate, right? Yeah. Good. And then next time you come to the back, go ahead and put your foot back on your block. Take a little rest. And then we're just going to lift it up off of the block, lengthening through the heel and lowering it back to the block. So you want to lengthen that waist as we lift, right? And lengthen through the heel, lower down. And lengthen up and back to the block. And breathe. Toes pointed forward. So we lengthen. Down. All right, and then resting on the block, we're going to straighten our bottom leg, just extend that knee. You're going to need your top hand to press into the ground to help you, and you're going to lift and lower that leg. Right? So it's just going to be at an angle, whatever angle, out in front. And it might be more work for your top arm to support you. And then hold it up, and you're going to bring your foot, that foot back to tap your block, and bring it forward, and bring it back, tap the block. So it's just hovering, and keep going, bring it to tap, and forward. Tap, and forward. And breathe. Great. Last one. Tap the block and let your leg relax. And take your top leg off the block. We're going to press ourselves up. And we're going to sit on our block for a little mermaid. Now, if you don't like sitting on your block, actually, it makes mermaid easier. So hopefully you will like it. Take your left leg or whatever leg you just worked next to your body, folded like that. And the right leg or the front leg up against your thigh. My leg doesn't go down, but I have to manage with my ankle hair. So we're sitting here and we're going to take this side arm and take a side stretch over. And then lift up and take a side stretch the other way. Good. And lift up. Both arms out, inhale, exhale, twist, and center, inhale, exhale, twist, and center. And one more time, side stretch, and lift, and side stretch, and lift, inhale, tall, exhale, twist, and center. One more. Shoulders relaxed. And center. And then we'll do a quick hip stretch by taking that leg that you worked across the other leg in a piriformis or figure four stretch. So you want to flex that foot. And you might just hug your knee and lean forward or whatever feels good so you feel that stretch in your hip, right? Your back is flat, you'll feel it more. Also bring this leg a little closer in and you'll feel it more. All right, and then we'll come out of that onto our other side. So we'll flip the block tall and bring our leg on top, bottom leg bent, about a 90-degree angle or so. See how I do on this side? And lie down. Okay. So my damaged leg. All right. So we're going to lift that leg and we're going to externally rotate so the toes point up, heel touches down. And then lift it up over the block, internally rotate, toe touches down. Lift it up, right? So again, feeling that rotation in the hip. Inhale and exhale. Your moon might be really big or your moon might be small. As long as you're not knocking your block over, you're good. Good. And breathe. Good. I didn't count on the other side, but I think I'll be able to tell approximately. Good. Next time you reach back with your toes, go ahead and bring your leg or your foot resting on the block for a moment. And then we'll lengthen up and down. So lengthening through the heel, lifting and lowering off of the block. And breathe. Starting to feel it. It brings our leg higher up, which makes it more work, right? Good. Last one, and then let your foot relax on the block, straighten your bottom leg, just unbend that knee, and then lift and lower. So using your top hand to support you. Then we're going to hold it up, bring your foot to your block, give it a little tap, and back out. So bring it in, tap, and you don't actually have to touch it, but just bring it to the block and back up. Good. Leg kicks for the bottom leg. Right? That's different. Last one. And then you can let your leg relax, come off the block and up to mermaid. We'll sit on our block again. And like I said, you don't have to sit on your block if you prefer not to. Holding that right leg back, which I might be able to do with a little support here. I don't know. And then this front leg here next to your foot on your thigh. Block actually does make it easier to be in mermaid, I think. So, right. And then we'll take a little side stretch. And lift tall. And side stretch. And lift tall. And then a twist. Inhale, exhale, twist. Center as we inhale tall. Exhale, twist. And back to center, other side stretch. And lift over. And lift. And one more time on the twist. Shoulders relax. Nice deep breath. Slowly that arm back. And around to center and relax your arms. And we'll cross that leg over the top into a figure 4. Stretch, foot flexed. You can flatten your back and lean forward if you want to get a little deeper. Stretch there. Breathe. Also feel free to move your shoulders, your head around. Okay, and then we'll uncross ourselves and we'll come onto our all fours. Now, if you do have two blocks, you're going to want to put them kind of in the front of your mat like that. If you don't have two blocks, that's okay. You don't need to use them. That's just one way to do it. Actually, take one of your blocks, leave the other one. Or which one? Kind of put it between your knees like that on our all fours. And we'll just finding your self-centered on your all fours and neutral, right? Inhale. As we exhale, we're just gently squeezing the block and curling the tailbone under, letting our spine round. And then we're going to inhale as we relax and come into an arch. Right, so just a cat-cow movement, but just a little bit of a squeeze as we exhale, round. And then release as we inhale and lift. It helps engage our muscles that are sort of involved, right? The inner leg muscles and the pelvic floor. Exhale. Right. And then coming to neutral, we're going to keep a gentle squeeze on that block and take your whatever arm is forward to the screen, just bring that arm out in front as you gently squeeze the block. So you're going to reach out, keep your head comfortable position, looking down, maybe slightly forward, and then bring that hand back. And then whatever hand is to the back, you're going to gently squeeze the block and reach that arm out and lift a little bit. You're going to really feel your upper body engaged too. Good. And bring it back down. All right. And then we'll take our block. If you've got two, like I said, they're both at the front of the mat or somewhere there. Put your hands on them. If you don't, you can have your hands on the mat. Coming into plank, we're going to stretch one foot back and then the other. So I like doing plank on the block, actually, on the two blocks, personally. Take some deep breaths. If you need to do it on your forearms, that's okay too. If you don't have blocks and you need to use your forearms, right? It's too much to be on your wrists. And then we're going to bring our right foot through. I need to come onto my knees to do that. So it's between your hands, between your blocks, and come into a lunge. So if you can come into a lifted lunge, a high lunge with your leg up, great. If you need to put it down, put it down. You go down at any time and just look forward. If we look forward, we really increase that stretch in the hip flexors. And if you've got blocks, it's a lot easier than if you don't have blocks, right? So that support is really nice. Like I said, anytime you need to let your knee drop down, that back knee, that's okay. And then we're going to step back to plank again. So bring that foot back, coming into our plank. Deep breath. Of course, you can always take a break if you need to. And then we're going to bring our left foot. I need to put my knee down for that. So bring the left foot between your hands and find your back leg lifted if you can, or knee on the mat, whatever works for you. Just so we're getting that stretch, right? And then looking forward increases that stretch a little bit. And you know, if you need more support than blocks, you can make your blocks higher, or you can use something else to support you if lunging is a challenge. You might need some, you know, higher support. But I think having the knee down is helpful as well. And then we'll one more time, bring our foot back, step back into plank. Take a couple breaths here. And go ahead and bring your knees to the mat and stretch back to your heels for a second. Just take a stretch back. Probably should do more lunging than we do. We don't do it often enough because it is such a good stretch for Pilates because we use our hip flexors so much in that front of our body, right? So much flexion. Okay, so we're going to come onto our belly. And if you have two blocks, you can use them side by side, but if you just have one, that's okay too. And you can have it over your head like that. So if you need a towel or folded up blanket or a pillow, something under your chest, that makes it easier for your arms to be stretched out over your head. You want to grab that. But what we'll do is we'll have our arms straight. I'm just going to use one block so you can see that you can do it with one, but if you have two, it allows your arms to be a little wider. Okay, so we're looking down with our arms on the hands on the block. And you're just going to lift your left arm up. Right? You're not going to do anything else. Just lift that arm and then put it back. And then lift your right arm straight up and put it back. And again, lift the left arm. However high it lifts, put it back and lift your right arm. Notice if one arm's different than the other. It's always interesting. Okay, and then we're going to sort of press up into a little extension. Just by pressing into your block, you're going to lift your head and chest a little bit. And now see if you can lift your left arm and put it back. And your right arm and put it back. And now we'll see if we can lift our left arm and our right leg. And lower down. Right arm and left leg. Doesn't have to be very high, right? We're just pressing up into a little bit of extension and doing sort of like a slow swim, alternating sides. Breathe. Good. Keep going if you can, a little longer. Good. And then relax your body. And then we're going to press up one more time. Press your hands into the block to lift your head and chest a little bit. Lift both legs and do a little flutter kicking. Just like reaching long and just flutter kick the legs. Okay. Little quick ones. And then see if you can lift one arm while you're flutter kicking and put it back. And your other arm and put it back. Good. And you can relax everything down. Oh. And then we're going to pick up our block with our, whatever hand you want to start with, right? So lift up a little bit, bring both arms behind your back. Grab hold of your block with your other hand, lift a little higher a little bit if you can, bring that block back around and lower down. And then lift up a little bit, take your block in your other hand Bring it all the way back. If you can pull yourself a little higher up, switching, bring it back and lower down. And that's enough of that. Okay. Now we're going to come up and press back to our heels. So you can block off to the side, come into a little child's pose, stretch here. And if you want, you can have your legs together. You can open them apart. Whatever feels good to you. All right, and then we'll come up from there. And everybody's still okay? We're still hanging in there? Okay, we're going to come to sitting with the block again. Block day. So bring your block between your legs, your knees, thighs area, wherever you can hold on to it. And then again, we're going to reach our arms forward as we inhale, lengthen our spine. And then as we exhale, just letting your tailbone curl under you, round back a little bit. Don't go too far. And then just straighten your right leg and bend it. And straighten your left leg and bend it and come up. Going to be a little progression. Okay, inhale, exhale, round back again, shoulders relaxed. And then again, straighten your right leg. Now see if you can keep that leg straight and then straighten your left leg next to it. Ooh. And then bend the left foot down, right foot comes down and lift up. Oh, it's going to go into a little bit more of a teaser. So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we gently squeeze the block and round back. And you might come back to your rib cage area. Lift the legs up, reaching past your legs with your arms. Inhale, exhale, squeeze the block, roll up into teaser. Feel free to let your knees be bent because I know it's hard to keep them straight. Inhale, exhale, roll back down to your rib cage or shoulder blade area. Inhale, exhale, squeeze the block, reach and roll up. Yeah. Inhale, exhale, down slowly with control, letting the knees bend. Back to your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale up one more time. Squeeze and reach. real serious core work here. Good. And then grab hold of your legs, bend your knees, bring your feet down and come up. Oh, quite a workout. Quite a workout we're doing here. Okay, so we're gonna bring ourselves to sitting on our block again. Did you know what you were gonna get into? So sitting on our block, I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun to do this on our block. So we're going to bring our legs into a straddle. Have your knees a little bent, heels on the ground, and hands underneath the thighs, back flat. Pull yourself forward. Feel your hips get a little stretch. And lift up. And then if you can straighten your legs, great. But if your knees need to support or your legs you have tight hamstrings, leave them bent. Okay. Reaching our arms out. We're going to inhale as we rotate over the one leg and stretch for that foot. Reaching our arm away from our back arm away from our front arm. Lift up. Back to center. Rotate. And stretch across. And lift up, back to center. Nice and tall, rotate and reach. And lift up. Nice deep breath. Rotate and reach up. Keep going a couple more times, feeling a little stretch through the shoulder and the hip. Right? Rotate. Great. And then lifting up, we're going to, if you don't like the block, you don't have to be sitting on it. Like I said, but it's just something different. Bring your arms to the back of the occiput or ears, wherever you can put your hands and not let your rib cage pull forward, right? So make sure your elbows are wide, head's lifted, and then just take a little side bend to one side and lift back up. And side bend to the other side. And then lift back up on the exhale. Good. Keeping our head lifted. Don't let your head be pulled. Don't pull yourself forward. Side bend. Exhale up. Just having the hands lifted is all. Doesn't have to press into your head. One more side bend. And lift. And then we'll twist. Inhaling here. Exhale, twist. And center. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. And center, two more. Good. And center, one more. Good. And back to center. Release the arms. Give them a little shake. And you can sit comfortably, whatever that is for you. Whether you want to sit cross-legged or weird like I'm sitting. Yeah. And then taking our hands, we're going to clasp our hands behind our head. This is for our neck here. So you're going to clasp your hands behind your head, base of the head, and looking up slightly. So that lines our head up with our spine. We're sitting tall. So we're going to do that isometric thing. So you're going to press your hands into your head and your head into your hands and hold, right? So do that for about 5 seconds. Press, breathe as you press, and release. And again, we're going to press hands into head into hands at the same time and hold. Press, press, and release. And one more time. So press, head into hands, hands into head, hold, and release. And then release your hands and notice how light your head feels and sort of bobbly, right? And just feel your shoulders a little roll. I was going to do a shoulder stretch, but we don't really have time. So we'll just roll our shoulders. We'll stretch that way. All right. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming and have a great weekend. I'm going to hit the button.